Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Donovan, and today I would like to introduce to you the brand new pair of active noise canceling headphones from the Vibes Lab. These are the NuFlo active noise canceling headphones, and for this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why the active noise canceling headphones from NuFlo are better than the AirPod Pros. So let's go ahead and talk about reason number 1. So reason number 1 is the fact that the NuFlo active noise canceling headphones have better active noise cancellation than the AirPod Pros. So one of the features that was new to the AirPod Pros is the fact that they have active noise cancellation. They do also have transparency mode, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit. But in terms of the active noise cancellation, I would say that these are just slightly better because these have better passive and active noise canceling combined, whereas the active noise canceling on the AirPod Pros is still very good. It definitely doesn't match a pair of big over-the-ear headphones when it comes to active noise cancellation, but it is still very, very good. So that's reason number 1, better active noise cancellation than what you get on the AirPod Pros. Number 2 is the sound quality. So sound quality wise, I would again say the AirPod Pros are very good when it comes to sound quality. I would give these like a 4.7 out of 5, whereas I'd give these like a 4.8 out of 5. So definitely better sound quality, but not by a whole lot. The mids, highs, and lows are all very good, especially the lows. So if you're someone who likes low end, these do have a good amount of low end, and especially with that active noise cancellation, blocking out a lot of the outside noise, it makes the lows sound even better. So premium sound quality would be reason number 2. Reason number 3 is the battery life. So battery life wise, the Apple AirPod Pros get 4.5 to 5 hours of battery life on a single charge, and then about 25 hours total with the charging case. So good amount of battery life on the AirPod Pros, and in fact, I've never actually burned through the entire battery in one sitting with the AirPod Pros, so that's very good. However, you can get even better life with the NuFlo active noise canceling headphones. These give you 5 hours if you're using active noise cancellation and 7 hours if you're not using active noise cancellation. So 5 to 7 hours of battery life versus 4.5 to 5 hours on the AirPod Pros. So definitely better battery life over here on the NuFlo active noise canceling headphones. Now, a really important area that I almost skipped over is the price point. So right now, as you can see, the NuFlo the Vibes Lab NuFlo active noise canceling headphones are available on Indiegogo, so I'll leave a link down in the description. But you can see these are available for $89 at the moment. Now, when they do launch and they do go out for mass production, they will be $179. So that'll be the regular price, but right now you can see there's 18 left at $89. So you definitely want to pick them up now because they will be shipping out in December, and after that they go into mass production, which means the price will go up to that regular $179. Now, in contrast, the Apple AirPod Pros are $249, and that is the price. So these are about a third of the price at the moment versus the AirPod Pros, and at that price point, they are absolutely fantastic. So I think that was reason number 4. So there's actually going to end up being 6. So reason number 5 is these use Type-C for charging. So you can see here that instead of using the lightning cable like you would use with the AirPod Pros, these use Type-C, which brings me to the last reason, which is the water resistance. So I have never personally had an issue with water resistance on my AirPod Pros, so I've wore them in the rain. These have IPX4 water resistance, whereas these have IPX6 water resistance. So even better water resistance than what you get on the AirPod Pros. So that's 6 reasons why they're better. So now let's go ahead and talk about a couple reasons why they're basically about the same, or a couple of areas where they are pretty much on par with the AirPod Pros. So one is in connectivity. So these are using Bluetooth 5.0 just like the AirPod Pros. And one of the things that often set AirPods apart from other true wireless headphones is just how good they stay connected up to a device. And I would say the range is pretty much equal with these two. I can get about 50 feet away from my phone with the AirPod Pros, and that's pretty much the same that I've been getting with the NuFlos as well. In fact, I've actually been able to get a little bit further away from my phone. So if I'm in my basement with my phone and I walk up to my second story of my house, I can still have these connected, whereas the AirPod Pros, sometimes they will start to lose connectivity once I start to get up into the second story of my house. I can pretty much walk anywhere in my house with my phone on the other end of the house, and these will stay connected. not quite with the AirPod Pros. So very similar connectivity. These might be slightly better, but it's not a huge difference, not enough to really count. The second area is where they're basically on par with the AirPod Pros is the fact that these are really good for phone calls. So one of the areas where I think AirPods are fantastic is for phone calls, and that's not always the case with active noise canceling headphones or headphones in general, true wireless headphones. But the AirPod Pros are fantastic for phone calls, and so are these guys right here. So they block out about 30% of the noise around you. Sorry, 30 decibels of the noise around you. So if there's quieter noises going on around you, they will be fine for phone calls in a more quiet environment. If you're in a super loud environment, so like if you're in a subway where decibels get well above 30, the person on the other end will hear that information. They will hear that stuff going on in the background, but anything below 30 decibels, they won't be able to hear. So for that reason, I would say these are fantastic for phone calls as well. And then now let's talk about the areas where they're not as good. And it's really just one area, to be completely honest with you, and that is the size. So you can see in comparison to a pair of AirPod Pros, so these are definitely bigger. So they're going to stick out a lot more than what the AirPod Pros were. And let's just go ahead for fun and compare them up to an original pair of AirPods. So here is an original AirPod, or this is actually a second gen AirPod, next to the NuFlos, and you can see that they're even bigger than the original AirPods. So these will definitely stick out a little bit more. And the other thing is the case itself. So here is the case for the NuFlos, and this is going to give you significant battery life over what you get here with the AirPod Pros. But you can see part of the reason for that is because the case is significantly bigger. So one of the things I love about the AirPods is the fact that I can easily just stick this inside my pocket and barely even notice that it's there. In fact, it can just fit it in my fifth pocket in my pants. Yeah, I can just carry them around all day in my pants pocket. These are definitely a little bit bigger, and it's going to add a lot of extra bulk if you're wearing these in your pants pocket. So I would say these are just not as friendly when it comes to transporting them. You probably want to put them in a backpack or something like that if you're not wearing them. So anyways, that is the NuFlo active noise canceling headphones. I definitely recommend picking them up right now while they're still available for $89 from Indiegogo. Check them out in the links down below. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.